Hi there, this is the news updates on AFRICUNIA TV, reaching you in Lagos, Nigeria, the nation's commercial capital. My name is Deborah. On news update today, we begin from Burkina Faso, where the trial of 14 men, including Burkina Faso's former president, accused of the assassination of left-wing leader Thomas Sankara 34 years ago, resumed at a military court. The slaying of Sankara, a Pan-Africanist icon, has for years cast a shadow over the Sahel state, fueling its reputation for turbulence and bloodshed. And in South Africa, a court on Tuesday rejected an application by former President Jacob Zuma to have the Attorney General dismiss his corruption trial in connection with a 1999 arms deal with 5 European companies. Zuma had asked that the prosecutor, plea, be removed from the case, saying it was neither independent nor impartial. And more stories from the African scene. Africa is to benefit from 110 doses of Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. This has been tagged as a breakthrough on the world least vaccinated continent. During the announcement on Tuesday, Moderna said it is prepared to deliver the first 15 million doses by the end of this year, with 35 million in the fourth quarter of 2022 and up to 60 million in the second quarter. And we move to Nigeria, where the United Nations has made pressing appeals to Nigerian and Kenyan government to explain the unlawful arrest and extradition of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Kanu. In the document dated August 26, 2021, the UN said that the Nigerian and Kenyan governments ought to provide it with details of how Kanu was arrested and illegally delivered to Nigeria. Meanwhile, the independent National Electoral Commission has denied allegations that its ADHOC members of staff for November 6, 2021 governorship election in Anambra State have resigned en masse. The resident electoral commissioner in the state, Nwachukwu Oji, said the report was false and did not have any credibility, assuring that the commission is of course on course to deliver a credible election in the state. And still in Nigeria, operators in the non-oil export sector decried reduced international demand for Nigerian goods, coupled with domestic economic challenges, while adding the ECOWAS member countries continue to exploit Nigerians for revenue from liberalized items, therefore killing trade and competition. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics showed the Nigerians' total foreign trade rose to 12 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2021. As the country recorded an increase in exports, especially crude oil. The NBS said the report's component of this trade was valued at 5.1 trillion naira or 42.22%, while import was valued at 6.95 trillion naira or 57.78%, while the trade balances stood at a deficit of 1.87 trillion naira. And away from the African scene, on to the foreign scene, women activists in Kabul held up signs that read, "Why is the world watching us die in silence?" protesting in the international community in action on the crisis in Afghanistan. Around a dozen women risked the wrath of the Taliban, who had banned demonstrations and showed them down using violence since taking power in August, holding banners affirming their right to education and right to work, before the Islamists stopped the press from approaching the march. And moving on, the U.S. Senators have urged President Joe Biden to waive sanctions against India over its purchase of Russia's S-400 air defense system, saying such a punitive measure would endanger growing cooperation. India signed a $5.5 billion deal with Russia in 2018 for 5 of the surface-to-air missile systems for defense against long-time adversaries Pakistan and China, with which it is locked in a standoff on the disputed borders. And still on the foreign scene, in Europe, Bulgaria's tally of coronavirus infection has risen by 6,813 in the past 24 hours, a record daily increase as the European Union least vaccinated country grapple with a fourth wave of the pandemic. The virus has killed 124 people in the past 24 hours, according to the figures, bringing the total death toll to 23,440. And away from that scene, onto the sports scene, Ole Gunnar is expected to remain in charge of Manchester United despite the heavy defeat to Liverpool and the fact a small number of players have reservations about their manager. The feeling within the club is that while the result was bitterly disappointing and painful for everyone, the immediate focus is on improving after picking up 1 point from their last 4 Premier League games. And last but not the least, Oliver Giroud early strike hand AC Milan and narrow 1-0 win over Torino to send Stefano Pioli's side top of the Serie A standings. In an otherwise uneventful first half, Giroud, starting in place of another veteran Milan forward, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, tabbed home his 4th Serie A goal of the season for what proved to be the winner in the 14th minute. And it's a wrap on News Update today. You can catch up with our news and programs on Joint Team and Pangram, and also by visiting the website on www.africunia.tv to stay updated and connected. Once again, I am Deborah. Bye for now.